Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. So 2023 has been all about the AI hype and the rebound of Bitcoin. And the question is, will this hype and rebound continue in 2024? I want to show you a couple of things because there's some really interesting headlines that just came out today, and I really think it's worth your time. So let's take a look together first. This is the chart of Bitcoin. So if you were jumping into this stuff for the first time back in January, you've probably doubled, maybe even tripled your money. So fantastic on your part. However, if you jump into stuff for the first time back in 2021, you're actually down. Bitcoin is down 33% on the peak, and you're probably still watching tons of crypto channels and wondering, is it ever going to come back? What's going on with my crypto? I just want my money back, these kind of things. Moreover, this is actually a really fascinating headline today regarding AI. Will the hype train end? And what's going on right now is the New York Times is suing OpenAI / ChatGPT. This is the first big media outlet that is suing them. And essentially, they're claiming that OpenAI, their whole business model is based on infringing other media organizations' copyrights. Now, one thing that's really interesting is that OpenAI has been trying to get deals with Facebook, Google. They made a deal with the publishers of like Business Insider, Politico, and other media outlets, and essentially, will they make deals with every outlet? And essentially, what they could do is say, hey, we're going to license your information, etc. I'm not sure if the something like New York Times or LA Times, Washington Post, etc., like all these places are going to want to do a deal with OpenAI. The issue is that, and you guys may not know this as well, is that it can just get data from all over the internet and then put it on their platform and not give any attribution to where it comes from. And as a user, you have no idea. You just see OpenAI. Authors have also claimed that OpenAI is infringing their copyrights as well. So like George R.R. Martin, who's the author of Game of Thrones. I think John Grisham was on the list. There's like a whole slew of famous authors that are saying, hey, OpenAI, we're suing you because you suck, essentially. But this has been a real interesting and thorny issue. Moreover, if you guys have been following the issue with like Midjourney or some of the AI image generators, there's been an issue in Hollywood. Tom Hanks and Scarlett Johansson among the stars. There's other stars out there as well, but they've been saying, hey, and this is real, companies have been using their images to promote their products, et cetera, and using their voices, et cetera. So this is actually a really big issue, and we'll see how the courts handle this. So my understanding, New York Times is suing, and I think this is in like the Southern District of New York, and the attorneys that are representing the New York Times are the same attorneys that represented the company that sued, was it Dominion polling, like those voting machines that sued Fox and won, and that was a major lawsuit. So, just if you look at their past track record, I would say New York Times has got a real interesting case here. I can't predict if they're going to win or not, but I do think this is something going forward to watch out for. So this may really slow down AI because, again, where are you getting your data? Are you properly paying for said data, and also are you giving attributes to the people who created the content originally? Now, the thing with, and please share your thoughts on that one. It's a really thorny issue. The thing with Bitcoin, as you guys know, it's been rebounding like crazy. Essentially, there's a ton of hype that perhaps there's going to be a spot Bitcoin ETF. This thing keeps getting delayed. So here's my understanding. As of today, I think it's like January 10th, where the SEC may or may not make a decision that says, hey, everyone, BlackRock and et cetera, you can have a Bitcoin ETF, and you too, ARK Invest, et cetera, you can have a Bitcoin ETF. Now, from a Wall Street / fund manager perspective, if they can figure out a way to get your money, hold your money, and make money off management fees, they will totally do it, right? And essentially what this boils down to is what's going on with this digital currency / digital tokens. How are we going to tax said things? And are we legalizing big pump and dumps? And are we legalizing money laundering? Now, I understand to people who are, love Bitcoin, love crypto, love these kind of things, that when you mention money laundering, they get really sad and upset and say, no, crypto has a lot more functions other than illegal activities. I say maybe, but I also say there is a real problem with money laundering. So this has just come out December 27th. So just was this yesterday? China busts 2.2 billion money laundering ring involving crypto platforms. The underground operations transferred the money utilizing over 1,000 bank accounts. So, me personally, I'm happy with my US dollar. Yes, I get it that the government can print any amount at any time. I totally get that. But I also get that I can take my dollars and I can go to the restaurant and I can buy food. I can take my dollars. I can pay the mortgage. I can take my dollars. I can, pay for things, and it's accepted all around the world. Crypto at the moment, I can't just take my Bitcoin and, go to any hotel. I can't go on vacation. I can't go to the airlines, these kind of things. Like it's not so practical as of now. And we'll see if the crypto bros end up being correct and that we all end up using crypto and throwing away our dollars. But at the moment, I'm fine using dollars. Now, one of the things I think is interesting about crypto, though, is that there's a lot of people who have a lot of money in this stuff that want to keep this system going because they have their own interests to protect, of course, right? So here's a really interesting example. This just came out today. I'll read the headline. This NYU student owns a $6 million crypto mine. His secret is out. So this is actually, it's a small town in Texas called Channing. I was reading the article. It's like population of 281, so very, very small. And he's got this kid, I think he's like 23 or something like that. He's a student at NYU, and he's got a mine out in the middle of the, essentially, I guess we want to call this tumbleweeds desert. I'm not sure the right word for this, but it's out in Texas. And it's really interesting because the local residents, again, a city of 281 people, they're like, hey, why is this person using up all of our power, and what the heck they're doing out there? And, they have like, it's just funny when you look at like what this is. I think he's got like 6,000 computers, something crazy. And I guess they're just mining Bitcoin all the time. And they're using it, 24/7. And the issue is that like, is there money laundering going on? Are you moving money back and forth, between China and the USA to sort of evade government rules and regulations, these kind of things? Because there's a certain amount of limits that China allows their citizens to, send across borders. Moreover, governments do want to tax these kind of things and just see what's going on with when you're sending this much money around. The one thing I think is really interesting about this kind of thing is I don't think this person is alone. I think there's a lot of, operations like this. Maybe in your neck of the woods, you've heard of something like this. I've heard of these things, and also too, I know this stuff uses a lot of power. I'm always curious what the crypto bros would say about that. Would say like, that it's good that, Bitcoin uses a lot of power. Like what kind of, justification would you have for these kind of operations? Moreover, which I think is really fascinating, is we may see a change in advertising for crypto. I haven't mentioned this before on the channel. This actually came out a month or so ago. I just didn't mention it because there's always, tons of stuff to mention, but I'll mention it today. Actually, Google / YouTube is changing their crypto advertising policy, and that they've been updating it recently, sort of like in preparation for the spot Bitcoin ETF, if it ever gets approved. Like, who knows, right? This is, like I said, January 10th. So here's some examples of how difficult these topics are, because some people, in some people's beliefs that like everything should be legal and we should be able to buy and sell anything that we want, and we should legalize gambling. That's in some people's point of view. So the thing is, though, is that there are multiple countries in the world, right? There's more than just USA and more than just where you live. And so a YouTube, which is a global platform, has to comply to laws to multiple countries, right? So here's an example. I'll read a bit of this here. You guys get a sense of like how crazy like things they have to think about. Here it says, in September 2023, Google will update the cryptocurrencies and related products policy to clarify the scope and requirements for the advertising of blockchain-based games involving NFTs, right? It's like stuff I hadn't even thought about. Okay, games involving NFTs. So here's the green check mark, says promotion of blockchain-based games involving NFTs. Okay, you get the green check mark. But then it says for NFT games, the following are not allowed, right? So the first one is allowed. Here, what they were saying here, not allowed, is promotion of games where players can wager or stake NFTs in exchange for the opportunity to win anything of real world value. So I thought it's kind of funny how they say it that, whereas like kind of saying that NFTs have no real world value. And like for the example of things that like, maybe, virtual is okay for Google's point of view, is like, players, characters, weapons, armors, things that are consumed in game, these kind of things. YouTube is like, hey, we're not going to allow promotion of social casino games that reward NFTs. Here's another one. We're also not going to allow promotion of, quote, real money gambling destinations. This includes gambling related advertisements that appear on your game's destination. Oh, that's interesting. So it's like a virtual advertisement in your game of like it's promoting a real thing. So This is such an interesting one, and it gets more complicated than this. So this is just one revolving games and NFTs. This is like Google/YouTube policy. This is France and Finland. It's got like, if you go look at Google's page, it's got like every country there. I'm serious. It really does. I just pulled up a few. So this is France and Finland. So for example, for France, you have a couple different things. You got cryptocurrency exchanges and software wallets. Can you advertise these things or not? You also got hardware wallets. So there's a distinction between the two. And in this example, for example, it says Google allows ads promoting cryptocurrency exchanges and cryptocurrency wallets targeting France as long as the advertiser is registered with the AMF. So that would be the Autorité des Marchés Financiers, right? And also to, I guess, you have to register as a digital asset service provider. Whereas, like, say, for example, if you're in Finland and you want to advertise your cryptocurrency exchange, it says here, Google allows promoting cryptocurrency exchanges and cryptocurrency wallets targeting Finland as long as the advertiser holds the appropriate registration. So you got to register as a virtual currency provider with the Finnish Financial Supervisory Authority, right? So, and it goes on, right? Like you have different ones that say in Japan, you have, what about the rules for contracts, for difference, rolling spot Forex? What about crypto exchanges? What about hardware wallets? You also have different rules for Korea. every country is different, and they expect you to basically register with the local government and pass all of their guidelines, etc. Also, too, YouTube is a child-friendly platform. So how are we going to deal NFTs, crypto, all this kind of stuff regarding content that's made for children? There's all sorts of ramifications involved, multiple countries involved, and that's why I wanted to point this out to you, because like very few people actually address this stuff. Most of the crypto channels out there, a bunch of American crypto bros saying, hey, America's the only country in the world. But I hate to break it to you, there are a lot of countries in the world and a lot of different laws to comply with. And moreover, there's a lot of people who are going to be impacted by this stuff. So, me personally, if you guys follow my channel, you already know my feeling on this stuff. I'm not into this stuff. It feels like we're going to be legalizing virtual pump and dumps. We will see if the spot coin ETF is approved. It'll be January 10th. I have no prediction on that other than the past has suggested that they always delay. So will this be the actual year when this kind of stuff will be more common, and you're going to look out your backyard and you're going to see a whole bunch of crypto miners popping up in your neighborhood, and we're going to be using tons of power to do this. And then I guess theoretically, we're all going to get rich off dog coins and sheep coins. So that is the future of 2024. These are the challenges facing both AI and crypto. Love to hear your thoughts on any one of these things. I appreciate everyone watching, and I'll catch you next video.